Hi, it's Mac. Thank you for purchasing your TIPM from us. In this video, I'm going to show you what's in the box, how to remove your old TIPM, install your new or rebuilt TIPM, which includes a soft reset and hard reset if needed. And I'm also going to show you how to easily send your core back and get some cash. Let's get started. On your box, you'll find a QR code that you could scan with your phone and it will take you to this installation video. You'll also find our phone number where you can reach our customer service reps 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. through 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or visit our website for further information. Now let's go ahead and unbox your TIPM together. In your box, you'll find and here we go, we've got your TIPM. We'll remove the protective plastic, keep dust and anything else from getting in it. Okay. And with your TIPM, you'll find the paperwork, which includes the paper that shows you how to send us your core for us to purchase it. You'll send this in and you'll get cash for your old core. Keep in mind, you can keep your fuses and relays if you want. You don't have to send those back. You'll also find the warranty paperwork that explains in detail all about our warranty and return policy. And you'll also find instructions and frequently asked questions on this paper as well. Make sure to look it over as it gives you a lot of helpful information. Okay, so let's get started with the removal of your old TIPM. I'm going to use these really simple tools that anybody can do themselves. Let me show you what I'm using. I like to use a zip tie. With a zip tie, if you put it in backwards, you can actually reuse it and you don't have to cut it. But in case you did make it, you did use a zip tie normally, you could cut it with, I've got a wire stripper, you can use a pliers, a scissors, something else. Got a ratchet, 13 millimeter. For me, it's gonna work on my battery cables and it's gonna work on the positive post going into the TIPM. But you may also need a 10 and or 12 millimeter depending on what nuts are on your battery. So just be aware of that. And a simple flathead screwdriver. That's it. These are all the tools you need. You can easily do it yourself in 15 to 20 minutes. So let's get started. We're gonna first start by disconnecting the battery. It's crucial to remove the ground side first. And the reason you remove the ground is just in case you touch any metal, you touch a frame, the engine, whatever it is, so you don't short it out. So I'm gonna start with removing the ground side, loosen that up. Remove the ground post, and then I can move on to my positive side. Now, just so you know, this car has been modified just a bit because we use it for testing. So this is to show you how it's done, but know that it might be a little more cramped in your vehicle. Once I've removed my battery cables, I'm going to go ahead and connect them. Now, the reason I'm connecting the battery cables is that when you connect them together, they're actually going to drain the capacitors that store some memory in the TIPM and other components of the vehicle. So this will help you get a fresh start when you put in your new TIPM. All right, so I've disconnected the battery and now I've attached the cables together. Now I'm ready to go ahead and remove the TIPM. Now, if you have a good lid, you're going to go ahead and take your lid off. Either way, you're gonna have to take your lid off, but if your lid is good, make sure to take it off and keep it intact because you'll use it on the TIPM that you get from us. Just to go over that one more time, they're really easy to get off. It just clips on and off. So you can either just yank on it, you can also just pull it back. A couple different ways to take it off. You'll take your lid off and put it on the rebuilt TIPM that you get from us. Now I'm ready to disconnect the positive post on the TIPM. Now my battery's disconnected, so I don't have to worry about bumping into anything and accidentally shortening anything out. So I'm going to remove the nut from the pod. I'm gonna take it off over here. Now we're ready to remove the TIPM. Now to remove the TIPM, you gotta press these tabs in. These plastic tabs are holding it on the bracket. So you can either do it by hand, you could push it in with your finger and pull up on the tab, or you can use a flat screwdriver if it's giving you a hard time. So you just press the tab in and you push up with your other hand, same on the other side, and it comes up really easy. Okay, I've pulled up my TIPM. So just as a reminder, this car we use for testing. So as you'll see, the wires are not exactly how yours is going to look. It's going to be tighter in a harness and it might be a little bit harder to get to. And some of these plugs, we've removed the plastics, but I want you to watch what I'm doing because it is very similar to what you're going to be doing. So if you follow this procedure, you'll be able to remove your TIPM. These larger ones have these levers. There will be a black plastic piece covering it, as you can see here, and there's a little plastic tab on both ends that keep that gray lever from pulling forward or back. Now this one I don't have it, so I'm just going to pull the lever back. Okay, but on this one, as you can see, there is one, so I'm going to press my finger, just press that tab just a little bit, and it should allow your lever to pull back. If it doesn't, you may have to do it with one hand, press your lever, the other one hand press the tab, and your other hand pull the lever. As you can see, I pull it and it should pull it out. If it's giving you a hard time, you can wiggle it as you pull it out. So as you're pulling the lever, you could sit here and just wiggle it to make it easier. Okay, sometimes they're a little bit tighter than others. This green one, as you can see, our lever is broken off, but normally this red tab will be locking the lever in, so you'll want to push the red lever up. Here it's already up, but I could show you the idea. You'd want to push the red lever up so it's unlocked, and then you'll pull this white lever that would normally be on here to get this out. And again, always wiggle it as you're pulling it out so nothing breaks. So this blue one, normally, this blue one does have the red locking tab, which is behind. I don't know if you can get in here and see it. Right here. So like I mentioned before, on the green one, I'm going to push that locking tab up, and then I'm going to pull my lever up. Normally you'll have to wiggle the plug as you push the lever up until you get it out. These lower plugs, these just have these levers that you just need to pull up. Normally they'll be pretty tight, so if you're having a hard time pulling it up, go ahead and take your flat screwdriver, get it in under the lever to push it up. Once it comes up just a little bit, now you can pull it as you're tugging on the plug. And again, wiggle these plugs a lot because sometimes they can give you a hard time coming out. For my center plug, and this is your turn signal plug, there normally is a red tab, a red locking tab. You'd put your flat screwdriver against the tab and press it up. Again, pull that tab out so it would unlock this plug, and then I would press on this tab, wiggle this, and pull this plug out. Again, this one is the same as the one on the other side. Normally, you'll have to use a flat screwdriver to get in there, open it, and once that lever is loose, you're going to wiggle this plug off, and there you go. Now that you removed your old TIPM, I'm going to show you how to install your new or rebuild TIPM. Okay, now for the installation, you're going to install the plugs, and just so you know, all the plugs are specific shapes, so you can't accidentally put them in the wrong spot. So if it doesn't go, don't force it, because it should fit relatively easily initially. Once you get to the lever, you're going to have to put some pressure on it. You'll see the lever start turning, and if you have any issues with it, just don't forget to always shake it. Don't fight with it. You don't want to break it, okay? So we'll keep putting it in until we get the lever to come back, and you should get a click. Once you pull it all the way back, this will click in on the end, and I always will push it just a drop more after you get it to click in, and then on the back side, you have that locking tab. Don't forget to lock your locking tab. That's going to keep your lever in there, okay? So we'll move our way up. So we got our blue one in. Now we'll get this one. Okay, you just press it down. You'll get to a point where it hits the lever, and then you pull your lever and press down. And it should lock in. And again, a little more pressure just to make sure it's nice and snug. Oftentimes people will have issues, even if everything looks like it's in all the way, it will still be a drop loose and won't make a good connection. So make sure you get that really tight. This one, my lever is broken, so I'm just pushing in like this. On yours, you will have a good lever. And once again, you'll pull that lever down, you'll lock it, and then you'll press down that locking tab on yours. Now we'll move to this one. This is the center one. This one, you'll just push directly in. When you press it all the way down, on a normal one that doesn't have a broken tab, it will just click in. You'll hear a little click. Then you press it a little bit more, and your red locking tab that normally is here, you'll go ahead and push your locking tab, push it down in, and get it to lock into place. Now we'll move up top. As I mentioned earlier, with this black plastic piece, you've got a locking tab up top here. And that locking tab here, I'll show you close up. This is your locking tab that's blocking the lever from going back down. So you'll press the locking tab with one finger and pull your lever past it. So first you put the plug in, press on your locking tab, pull your lever down. It'll come past the next locking tab. You'll hear it click, and now it's in. And again, just press a little bit more to make sure it's nice and snug in there. Move to my next. And again, this is the same as the other side. I'll press it down. I hit the lever. I'll pull the lever, press it all the way down. It will normally click. And then again, I'll push it a little bit more to make sure it locks in really well. This one, like I mentioned, does not have the plastic piece with those locking tabs, but it's the same thing. You would normally press that locking tab, pull your lever, pull it further down, pull away all the way past that last locking tab. You'll hear it clip in, and then just push it in a little bit more. Now that we've got all of our plugs in, we're ready to put it in its cradle. So we'll push the TIPM down. Remember, like when we took it out, there's 4 pieces or 4 tabs holding this into the bracket, into the cradle that holds a TIPM. So we'll push it down, make sure your wires are snug and out of the way. Okay, and then now we're going to push it down to the bracket. Again, in your car, it's going to be much tighter. Just be aware. You can move the battery a bit out of the way to give yourself some more space. But if you don't, just know you'll be dealing with a little bit more of a tighter spot. I'm going to press this down until you can hear those clips. And that's as easy as that. It's all clipped in. Take my positive post for my TIPM. This is what powers your TIPM, okay? If you forget to connect this, you'll have no power in your TIPM, and clearly it's not going to work. Go ahead and tighten the post. It's 13 millimeter. Just tighten that, nice and snug. Don't go too crazy. You don't want to break it, but a nice tight and snug, and maybe just a little tiny crank after that. Now, before I close it up, I'm going to quickly go over it and make sure none of the fuses or relays got loose during movement, during shipping, or whatever else. So I'll again just make sure, as you can see that I have to just press down a little bit, press on everything, make sure. Oftentimes people have a simple issue and it's caused by a fuse having gotten loose or a relay having gotten loose. So just press on that, make sure everything is nice and snug. Now we're ready to put on. Usually you'll be using your old lid from your old one if it's still in good shape. So you take the lid and it just clips on just like that. You just press it down and now it's on. That's it. Simple as that. Close my lid and we're all set to go. Okay, now that we've reinstalled your TIPM, we're gonna go ahead and reconnect the battery. I'm gonna use my wire stripper to cut the zip tie if I had locked it. But in this case, like I said, I use it backwards so I can actually slide it right back out. But if you would use string or wire, whatever it is, you can use a scissors or knife to cut this. Okay, now when reconnecting your battery, you want to make sure to connect your positive first instead of your ground like you did last time. So you're going to connect your positive again, because if I just connect my positive, it doesn't have a complete circuit, so it can't short out if I accidentally touch anything that's metal. So I got my positive connected. I'm going to tighten that up. And when that's done, now I'm going to move on to my ground. Okay? You'll get a little spark from the battery. That's normal. That's fine. Not to worry about that. It's a system lighting back up. Okay, tighten my battery. Again, I've got a 13 millimeter. You might have a 10 or 12. So you can always use a different socket or use a channel lock or pliers, whatever it may be. Now I've got my battery connected. Let's go ahead and do the soft reset. The soft reset is crucial to getting your vehicle to configure itself. When you do the soft reset, it's going to put your vehicle in what's called blessing mode, which will allow the PCM and other components to communicate with your TIPM, write the VIN to your TIPM, and write the configuration code. So it's really crucial that you do this, otherwise you may very possibly have many issues. So let's go ahead and do it. Now to do a soft reset, we're going to turn the key to the run position, okay, for 12 seconds. With this vehicle, the check engine light will actually flash, and sometimes it will make a ding after between 12 to 15 seconds. So there you go, there's your second ding. I'll turn it off, take my key out, and now I'll put my key back in and start it up. Now, as you can see, everything cleared up on the dash. That's what normally should happen. This vehicle has a check engine from something else going on with it. So I'm not going to concern myself with that, but this is the procedure you're going to want to do. So again, turn it to the run position, wait till 12 seconds. And that was our second ding. That means we've hit the 12 seconds, and take my key out. Now, if you have any issues, like your speedometer is not working, you still have got a bunch of lights on the dash like this. It looks like it's a Christmas tree, okay? That is normal before you do your reset. So you're gonna wanna make sure you do that reset. But again, if you drive around and the speedometer is not working, you're having issues with things, you wanna stop the vehicle, turn it off, put the key to the run position for 12 to 15 seconds, and turn it back off. That reset, again, is what's allowing your TIPM to learn the vehicle. This is how you avoid going to the dealership and spending hundreds of dollars. Because what they're gonna do is they're gonna connect their scan tool and they're gonna configure it. But in reality, your vehicle is capable of going into blessing mode and learning it by itself. As I mentioned, it's really important to do the soft reset. Even with this vehicle, I did 2 soft resets and the door locks were still not working. I was pressing the door lock and nothing was happening. So I opened the car door so the vehicle knows that it's going through a new sequence of a reset. Closed it, put my key to the run position for 12 seconds, turned it off, and now as you can see, my door locks are working. So again, this 12-second reset is something that must be done to avoid having to get your vehicle configured by a dealer. We made it really easy for you to send your core back to us for cash in 3 simple steps. Number 1, take your core and put it in the box that we've provided. If you still have the peanuts, please use them and pack them as well as possible. If not, feel free to put something else in there to pack it. You'll close that box. Use the prepaid shipping label we provided. Make sure you tape the box shut first, and then you'll put the shipping label that we provided on there. Step number 3, you're gonna text the word core and your original order number, which is on the bottom part of your label. You could easily find your original order number there. Text it to our mainline phone number so we know that your core is on its way. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call or email us, and we will provide you with further assistance. Until next time.